Crazy how healthy CG is looking now in comparison to a few months ago. Please, if you don't mind making a video on everything you did to get here. I think we all know some here and there, but would love to see the full-on methods. I've boiled it down to 5 things. Let's get into it. First thing, sounds so stupid simple, but I have to say it, a consistent sleep schedule. So basic, but guys, the last X amount of years of my life, I have kind of had the mentality of like, business first, whatever my body has to go through, whatever I need to put it through, I will put it through to get the job done. Which over the course of the last 10 years led to many like early morning phases, like super early morning, 3, 4 a.m. kind of vibes, like the Mark Wahlberg wake up at 2:30 kind of energy, which would obviously lead me to a lot of late nights, which would lead me to all-nighters, which would lead me to just crashes, like hard crashes where I would fall asleep. I'd push, and then I would literally crash and feel super foggy and like not even be a normal alert person for periods of time. And almost like I remember like just waking up in these fogs and just really not healthy. I would say the peak worst of that was at the beginning of 2023 to end of 2022. I literally just had so much on my plate, and I thought that if I didn't, it turns out when you actually take the time to consistently sleep every single day and not do any drastic measures, you end up having more energy consistently to do everything you need to do. So wild that it sounds so crazy, or it feels so weird for me to say, but I really neglected myself and my sleep patterns when I was younger. I've literally slept every single night for the last year plus, and it feels so damn good, and I have more consistent energy than I ever have. So consistent sleep over grinding when you think you need to grind, and kind of putting yourself in a spot where you're gonna crash out and burn. I figured I would add, this watch is the Garmin Forerunner 965. I'm gonna post a photo right here. This is one of the top of the line Garmin's, at least from my understanding. It took me a few months to actually convince myself to like purchase it. I had been eyeing it for a long time. I was like, you know what, I'll just stay with the Fitbit because it's cheaper. It does everything I don't think I need. But the upgrade to this watch has been one of the best investments I've ever made. I feel like it just does a much better job at tracking everything that I need. My main thing are steps, sleep, recovery, and anytime I go for a jog, I want to keep a good pace and like know it's, you know, what I'm actually running. This checks all the boxes and honestly makes having a high sleep score and getting a high sleep score a lot of fun. And it's been very interesting to see like the one night in Vegas where like we went drinking and I didn't sleep and I was rolling around in bed and I woke up super early and I had like a 25 sleep score. It's like, damn, that's accurate. I wonder if I would have had this Garmin watch when I was building Alphaland, I would have been like, holy shit, I need to get my sleep together. So sometimes it's nice to just have visibility on your like do your normal life, go through the patterns that you go through, and you can see the correlation to the sleep score. I love it, so maybe you'll love it. Topic number 2, cardio. You will never hear me talk crap about the Stairmaster. I firmly believe that it's one of the ultimate forms of cardio, especially during a prep. I've like lived and breathed by that for all of my years competing. But we're not in prep. And if I'm being quite honest, over the last few months I started incorporating cardio kind of just because, and in the form of being outside. If I'm not walking 12 to 14,000 steps a day, which is my goal every single day, then I am including a jog, a light 30 to 35 minute jog where my heart rate doesn't get any higher than 145. Really trying to keep like around that 135 level. That increase in outdoor activity, like with no headphones, I don't even take my phone with me. I know I probably should take my phone in case something bad happens or I break my leg, whatever happens, I could need my phone. But I just choose not to take it, and I just risk it, and I just go, call it risk it, but I really enjoy that time to myself where I can just be in my head, and usually with Nala, 90% of the time so with Nala, and just that increase in outdoor time has really, I feel like, helped my overall mental, my overall feeling every day. Get some vitamin D, get a little tan, and yeah, I've just been loving being outdoors more lately, instead of just kind of confining myself into the gym only, especially with the time change now. I feel like you really need that time with the sun to make you feel a little bit better. So incorporating cardio just to incorporate it. I am improving my cardiovascular health. This is a huge milestone. I just last week, or a few days ago, ran the fastest mile of my lifetime at 7 minutes and 37 seconds. I know that it's not crazy fast, but when I started jogging 2 months ago, I was at a 9:50 for 1 mile, and like I was gassed. So I was also gassed for the 7:37, but you know, improvement is wild. So improving cardio health as a whole, getting leaner, it's having that effect, and gaining mental clarity by being outdoors more. So cardio is a win. Yo.
What's up?
What would you say the number one biggest change in me this year is of getting healthier?
Actually running for cardio is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen the day CG goes out for runs for cardio.
You can thank Nala and her deteriorating muscle in her legs.
Between that and just having more like energy, like spread out, not like concise points of energy. Like you used to be like 120% for like an hour, and then I wouldn't see you for like a week. Now it's like every day I see you like at 90%.
Hell yeah. Number 3, making the decision to not compete anytime soon has been huge. And anytime there's comments, people asking like, hey, when are you going to compete? Or in person, when's the next show? It's always kind of like a weird, it's just not in my mind right now. I've got other priorities right now. The fertility stuff, right? That's what Heidi and I are number one focus on. And just getting our life started there is like the number one priority. And it's a little bit different for me to not always think so many years down the line, and you know, coming from the guy that set 10 goals for 10 years, like it's been a big shift, to be honest, but a needed shift for me just to focus in on like the right now, really the next year and a half, I would say, with goals. And in that next year and a half, competing is not in there, right? And there's a few other goals that I had, written down and promised to myself and stuff like that just are sort of out of sight, out of mind right now. And I think that's really allowed me to just be more present and take my time more and feel overall better in the real moment. Also with not competing, you guys have been if you've been following me for however long, you know that there's either super shredded Christian or there's the me that like ate himself twice, right? There's really like no happy medium. It's always been, I'm either getting ready for a show and doing a summer shredding series and filming and going super dramatic and drastic. I'm very intense with what I do and what I commit to. Or you see me puffing up like crazy and just like, can bro even breathe? Like that kind of vibe, right? I'll never forget, I don't want to go on a tangent, but when I came back from the Caymans like in 2017 and I first filmed my video, the reaction, there was like so many videos, what happened to Christian Guzman? What happened to Christian Guzman? Because I was just so bloated and so puffy from post-show. And it's been very nice for the first time in my life to not feel like I have to compete. And this is even something I haven't really talked about and opened up to you guys about, but because things kept going so well for me in the years that I was doing that like either one way, and then I would gain a lot of weight, then I would shred it all back down and do a series and get on stage, then I would gain a lot of weight and do a series again. I kind of got very used to that, and I started to link my success and everything going well and going right to that model. And it turns out I can unlink that model and still see the success, which is a crazy like eye opener for me. Yeah, it's just huge. So you're not defined by what you do. Yeah, you are. I don't know. Does that make any sense?
Like, you're not locked into patterns.
I'm not locked. Yeah, like
You're not limited by what's worked.
yeah, you're not limited by what's worked. There you go. Does that make sense? Or is that okay?
No, yeah, that was great. Yeah, just because it's worked in the past doesn't mean it's all you can do.
Yeah, so not competing has been huge for me. Focusing on health, getting my cardiovascular, getting my fertility, getting all of that kind of stuff in check while getting huge is a priority.
Hi, babe.
Hey, Heidi. I'm filming a video. What would be the number one thing that I've changed in my life that has improved my health?
Getting married.
Getting married, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, what's something that you've done that has improved your health?
Yeah.
I think started running.
Damn, that's what Juan said too.
Because I feel like you put your phone down and you take Nala, or you just go by yourself. It's like when you run by yourself, it's like when you take Nala, but sometimes when you're just go running on your own without me and Nala, I think that you kind of need that space just with yourself.
Okay, so that was one of mine. I also said not competing.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. Because I feel like you actually eat to nourish your body and look good, but you're putting more emphasis on your overall health and wellness versus just looking shredded.
Cool. All right, thanks, love.
And getting married.
And getting married.
That's okay, right?
Number 4. May seem a little bit weird, but I found that I'm less stressed now that I'm more involved in Alphalete and Alphaland and all the businesses. It's weird, but I feel like I may sound like a control freak by saying this, but in past times when I would remove myself and kind of like, I would have managers and I would just say, you know what, just treat me like an athlete. I'll promote my code and for Alphalete, just like I want to see what it'll do without me. And that is an interesting thought, like what is Alphalete without Christian Guzman, really? But I feel like me being so out of things in a way, and it's almost like I self-induced that on myself. Like I really wanted to let my managers run and not interrupt and sort of see what business could be created and maintained without me being involved so heavily. But I feel like it had the exact opposite effect of what I thought it would have. I thought I'd be like pretty stress-free. I thought I'd be like, you know, wow, the businesses are doing so good on my own without me. Like it's so, but honestly, like those times led to me feeling more stressed, led to me feeling like I needed to kind of get involved and make some change. And it's almost like I'm being, now that I am so much more involved in the daily meetings, so much more involved in all the management meetings, so much more involved with the general direction. I'm kind of like back in the forefront of the company. I feel a lot less stressed by just being more involved and showing up. And I think another example that could help you guys kind of like understand this picture that I'm trying to paint would be in a big gym staff meeting. We had all the management in a round table, and we all started out with like one thing that we're gonna try to set, like a goal we're trying to set. And my goal in front of the whole team was to start saying no to more outside opportunities and no to so much travel. No, I'm not just gonna be saying yes to anything that pops up in front of me, because in the past it results in me just being gone from this physical location where all the staff is way too frequently. And when I'm gone and when I'm just like saying yes to so much, I may have thought that would help like the bigger picture like me, but it's not. In fact, I promised the staff that I'm gonna do my best for 2025 to be here more. I'm gonna start saying no to more things. I'm gonna be sure my presence is here, so that way I can be just as consistent as I'm expecting all the management to be with their teams and with their staff. I need to be the leader of that and show that I'm here as we get everything really steamrolling. So yeah, I would say number 4, to summarize, would be me actually stepping back into the role that I know I'm like meant to be in, if that makes sense. Okay, number 5 has by far had the most impact on my life, 1,000%. I even feel like number 5 is intertwined in some sort of way with the first 4 topics that I talked about today, and that is coming off of Aderall. I'm now a little over 14 months off of Aderall. Back in August was my final show in Pittsburgh when I competed. That's the very last day I took Aderall. The following day, so the day right after my show, is when I just went cold turkey completely. And I could literally make a whole, and I've been meaning to make a whole entire video where I go into depth of how that kind of started. I could literally make a whole 20-minute episode about Aderall specifically, but to keep it more condensed for this video, coming off of it was the absolute best decision I have ever made in my life. And it may not be Aderall, it may be Ritalin, it may be Vyvanse, all of those stimulants, like whenever my relationship started in college, right? And for a lot of people, it starts in college where you get offered some, or you get it for the first time and you take it before a test and you get to study and you feel like you're a superhuman, right? Studying for this test, and then you receive a good grade. And kind of like how I was saying, like my yo-yo dieting history, how I would, get super, super shredded for a show and document it on YouTube, and then I would puff up really quick, really unhealthy, and gain a ton of weight. And 2 months after my show, I'd be 40, 45, 50 pounds over my stage weight. And then like I'd be hurting and all this stuff, but I kept on repeating that cycle because I correlated that to, it just so happened that as I was doing that, I was seeing success on YouTube, right? I was seeing success in the business. It was working for hype. It was working for views, and it was just overall working. So like I kept doing that same thing. And a similar sort of scenario with the Aderall, when I could get prescribed something, which I was prescribed this drug, and over like years, that dosage that I was prescribed just kept going up. You really, really start to build a dependency on it, and you really, truly, at least for me, I really started to believe like I can't make any important decisions. I can't be this Christian that everybody knows and needs and relies on, and like that supports all these businesses and all that, if I don't. I'd rather have this in my system and make these decisions than just like not, right? Like I'll be sharper, I'll be smarter, I'll be that Superman Christian, right? And I could literally make a whole ass like 20-minute video on this topic, and I've been meaning to, and I actually meant to do it at the 12-month mark, like 1 year off of Aderall. Here's like the crazy difference. But going cold turkey was a very big decision. It's something that I had been contemplating for a long time, but it wasn't until I actually saw this show on Netflix called Painkillers. Let me show you. That I was literally watching in Pittsburgh, like during peak week, about Oxycontin. It's about the entire drug epidemic, the getting hooked on this drug. And specifically, there was a scene where the main character was like out of his pills, and he was scavenging through his kitchen. He was like throwing, moving the fridge, flipping the stove, like making all this crazy noise and waking up the family, and like digging through the utensils and throwing shit. And he was just looking for a pill because he had this, like, he was addicted to these pills, and he was just searching for any like bit of powder or anything he could find in his household, right? Like no matter what, he was gonna find a pill to like soothe himself. And when I saw that scene, it's like a lot more dramatic than anything I had ever experienced in my life. But I would be lying to myself if I said I didn't have or hadn't had similar feelings to that with the Adderall. Like, I've felt in situations like, oh shit, I need an Adderall to make that decision, or oh shit, I wish I could take one to do this, or like, and literally that right there, that specific scene from the show Painkillers was the tipping point. It was already something I was thinking about doing, getting off completely, just going cold turkey. And when I saw that clip, I was like, holy shit, I am addicted to this and I need to stop. So literally went cold turkey. And from there, like, I just feel you guys can see the shit. It's almost like I'm operating at such a higher level. Instead of like these peaks that you would get like while taking that, you would get a peak and then you'd have all the crash. It's like you would almost pay the dues for this moment, but then you'd pay the consequences afterwards, right? And now that's how it would feel. So it's like, get it and then burn out, get it and then burn out, get it and then burn out. But now I truly feel like I'm at such a better sustainable level of energy. I'm even like clearer, and I don't know, I just feel like a whole different person than when I took it. Again, I can do a whole video on this entire topic because I heard a stat like 36 million prescriptions for Aderall, Ritalin, and Vyvanse like went out in a recent year in America, which is crazy. This is not stuff you should be giving I don't think anybody should be taking it, especially children. I think that ADD can be a superpower. If you just like channel the energy in the right way, and if you get on a consistent schedule, you get consistent sleep, you get into a rhythm. And yeah, coming off cold turkey has been the best thing that ever happened to me. Truly. So those are really like the 5 big things that I've done to make the change that you're seeing. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want me to go into more depth of some of these topics, specifically the Aderall one. And I'm going to turn the AC on because anytime I'm filming in here, I have to shut the AC off because it's so loud. Holy crap, here it comes. Oh, there she is. There she is. Woo! All right. We will see you in the next video.